Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel where we're all about healing from narcissistic abuse. Now today, because it's the end of the year, because it's nearly 2024, what we want to do, we want to start to change our life. We want to start to look at what it is that's holding us back and where we want to go in the future and how to get there. So I've got 11 questions that I use with my therapy clients. They're going to help you as well to start to plan, start to understand, and start to empower yourself so that you can move forward and create that life that you've always dreamt of, start to heal, start to thrive, start to live a life where narcissistic abuse is nothing but a memory, is nothing but something that you look back on and go, wow, you know what? I'm so glad I went through that because that gave me the resilience, that gave me the life that I now have. But before we get there, before we can get to that amazing place, we have to look at life in a new way, because the old way we've been looking at life isn't working. It's kind of got us stuck. It's got us stuck in a place where things aren't working the way we want to. So without further ado, let's get straight on to the questions. That's about 11 questions. So get a pen and paper. Feel free to pause it if you need to, because we're going to go through them as quickly as possible so we don't waste any of your time. So get that pen and paper, and we're going to start with the first question. Now, the first question is, what did the narcissist want from you? Write that down. What did the narcissist want from you? What were they getting from you? What sort of supply were you giving the narcissist on a daily basis? Now, you might want to look at things that happened in the past and times when the narcissist was just like hurting you, or they're gaslighting you, or they were saying stuff, and it's like, what were they getting from it? Like, they were getting control? Were they getting a sense of a power over someone? Were they getting you to make excuses for their bad behavior all the time? What were they getting? How were they benefiting? Because it's good to know this. It's not the nicest question to look at, but it's good to know this so we can then make sure that this doesn't happen again in future relationships. And also, we can become more aware of the energy we're giving and the energy that other people who are telling us, who are love bombing us, who have, we shouldn't ever feel any shame about giving energy to someone who has manipulated us, but we can in the future become more aware of it by asking these types of questions. So that question number one was, what did the narcissist get from you? What sort of supply were they getting? What were they benefit? What was their gain from being with you? Now, this could be very materialistic. It could be sex. It could be living in a house with someone because they don't have their own house. All kinds of things. When you're living with a narcissist, or when you're with a narcissist, what was it that they were getting? Now, number two is, what did you want from the narcissist? Now, one way to look at this again could be when you have a narcissist come into your life, they start to breadcrumb you. They start to tell you about this big fantasy. They start to tell you that, hey, we could have this, you could have that, because they're listening to what it is you want. And then they start to tell you about this new amazing life, and they build this fantasy world, and they literally lie to you and say, this is what you're going to have. And they sell you a dream. And they dangle all these carrots. So what were the carrots that the narcissist was dangling in front of you? What was the carrots that the narcissist was going, hey, look, if you just keep doing this, we can have this relationship? What was the love bombing? What was it they did on love bombing? Was it amazing holidays? Was it this idea of protecting you, right? Was there kind of a thing of safety? And they're like, yeah, I protected you then, and now I'm gaslighting you, but if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be X, Y, and Z. If it wasn't for me, this wouldn't have happened. You'd be no one, right? What is it that you wanted? Again, you've got to become aware of what it is that you need. What do you want? So take your time, pause if you need to, and write down that question. Okay, the next question is, what qualities and belief do you have that the narcissist was able to tap into and abuse? So when I say qualities, I'm talking about qualities such as forgiveness. Maybe you're the kind of person who's putting other people first. Maybe you're a people pleaser. You're very easy to get on with. Okay, these are great qualities to have that can be abused by the wrong person. Same with beliefs. Your belief might be that everyone deserves a second chance, or because I got married to someone and I said my vows, those vows continue, that I will till death do us part, no matter what. Now, these beliefs are beliefs that are actually limiting you, that are actually holding you back. Okay, next question is, what is your unmet emotional needs? Write that down. And the follow-up to that question is, how can I meet these emotional needs myself? Next, what brings me joy? What is it that brings me joy? Maybe this is a time in your life when you feel peace. Maybe look back in the last year and you might find that there's times when you've just felt, everything's okay. You've just felt a bit of like comfort in the world. They're like, this is nice. I'm just in a good space right now. Maybe it lasted for a minute. Maybe it lasted for a day. Maybe it's a place you went to and it brought you some joy. And what was happening around you? Who was around you? What was the atmosphere? What were you telling yourself? What was the stories going on at that time when you just felt like there was this joy in your life? Next, what would a perfect future for you look like? What would a perfect future look like? Again, this can be a really difficult one to write in words, but if you don't have a vision of the future, if you don't have some kind of ideal of the future, it's a bit like going on a road trip, right? Yeah, of course, it could be nice to go on a random road trip and I'll just turn left, I'll just keep turning left, but you'll probably end up back in the same place, right? But if you actually want to drive from here to the other side of the country, you want to drive to Scotland or something, go and visit Edinburgh, which is a beautiful place. If you don't actually say, I want to go to Edinburgh, you're not going to get there. The chances are you're going to end up in the sea, you're going to end up somewhere where you just don't want to be. You're going to get stuck going round and round in circles, or you're going to let someone else navigate, which is what you've been doing for so long with the narcissist, and you're going to end up where they want to go. And chances where they want to go, it's got nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your hopes, nothing to do with your dreams, and you're going to get to the end of life being in regret. Why did I let this person take advantage, take control of the wheel? Why did I let them navigate? So what does it look like for you, this future vision? And this could just be a feeling, could be a place, it could be a mixture of a load of things. Okay, it could be a whole life. If you can design it as clearly as possible. So take your time again on this one, design that life, that future goal. And it could just be being happy, being secure, being safe, having a house, having a couple of kids, whatever it is. It could be a certain job. It could be anything. What is that vision? What does it look like? Do you have a dog? Do you have a cat? What does it look like? Write down that vision right now. Okay, so the next question is, what have you been saying yes to too long and it's time you started to say no? Now this could be anything, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a big thing that's going to be hard, like telling your boss, no, you're not going to do that work or whatever. If you've been saying it for so long, maybe you've got to start off with something easy. So have a look at the things that you have been saying yes to too often and that you really want to say no to, and then look at ways you can start to say no. Because saying no is so empowering, right? When you say no to someone, you've been saying yes to someone, even if someone just invites you out and say, hey, do you fancy that coffee? Like, no, I'm good. I don't really fancy that coffee. Not today, but what about tomorrow when I'm actually free? Can we do it at the weekend when like it's not going to get in the way with something else that matters to me? Then you're empowered, right? You're taking back your power. So what can you say no to starting today? Next off, I want you to finish this sentence. Now the sentence is, the reason I can achieve this future that I visualize is because. So what you're doing here is you're looking at your future vision that we've done a minute ago, and you're looking at the sentence, I can achieve this because. So you're saying I can. So you're telling yourself I can achieve this because, and then you're coming up with a reason. Now the human brain loves to fill in the blanks. So by presenting it to it this way, like how can I, or why will I succeed in this? Your brain will make up a reason to fill in the blank. Whereas what we normally do in life so often is the opposite. We say to ourselves, I'll never be able to do that because I'm not the sort of person that can stand up for myself. I'm not the sort of person who can say no. I've never been able to say no, right? And we're filling in all these blanks with the negatives, and we create this belief around ourselves, this BS belief that we can't do something. So we've got to reverse that and say, the reason I can do this is because, and then see what comes up. And something will come up, and it could be because I've been through so much rubbish before, because I've done so many great things before, because I've experienced worse times in my life, because I'm resilient, because I have X, Y, and Z strength. I have this trait because I came from a family that taught me X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is, finish that sentence. Allow yourself just to write down whatever it comes up. The reason I will succeed and change my life in this way is because, okay? Massively empowering, okay? But it happens, it's true, and it will happen because you believe it. And if you believe it, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, after this one, and this will help you with that last one, so maybe you want to do this together if you really struggle with that question, is make a list of your strengths. So start writing down what your strengths are. If you don't think something's your strength, maybe ask someone you know and say, hey, what are some of my strengths? But I would also say, like, look at the things that you do on a daily basis. They all take strength. Now, when I'm talking about strengths, I'm talking about things that you have within you, traits that are positive. Now, even if you're looking at someone else and going, well, you know, I have the strength of compassion, there you go, right? I have a strength of forgiveness. I have a strength of, doesn't matter, I have strength, I can run, I can exercise, I can see, whatever, right? Someone else maybe can do it more than you, doesn't matter. You're not comparing yourself to someone, you're just doing what are your strengths. Write them down, all kind of strengths, you know, these internal strengths that you have. Resilience, okay? You're so resilient. If you've been through so much rubbish before, you're resilient. If you're angry, is anger a strength? Yeah, right? Anger can be a strength because it can be used in a time when you need anger. And if you have no anger, you're gonna get hurt. But you need to be scared, right? Scared is a strength. I have fear, because sometimes you need to know when a good time to run away is, okay? So look at what it is and don't be too quick to judge that this isn't a strength. This could definitely be a strength. Whatever you think it is a negative, just check, is there a positive to this thing that I'm calling a negative? And then finally, answer this. What is one thing, what is one step that you can do today, tomorrow, and the next few days to kind of get a consistency going so that you've got a momentum going? What is one thing that you can do today that is going to begin you on that journey, that 1%, one little small step that's manageable, that's achievable today? What is that one little thing? And write that down. What is that one step that you can do today? And guys, if you enjoyed this video and you found this video useful and you want some more help on your journey, then please get in contact. Please send us a DM or send us an email, because we are creating a new membership, a new program, and we're looking for some volunteers right now who will be willing to go through that program and help us just fine tune it, because we've worked with many clients one-on-one, but now we want to do a very small group program, and we want to get a few volunteers who are willing to put in that effort to do it over the next 6 weeks starting in January. Now, if this is you, please get in contact, because we would love to hear from you.